There comes a moment in life when you stop being impressed by talent and start being moved by consistency, because talent fades when life gets hard. Consistency is the quiet storm that reshapes everything around it. People will doubt you. They'll underestimate you. They'll whisper that you don't have what it takes. And in that silence, in those dark, early mornings when no one is watching, that's where the real transformation begins. Not in the spotlight, not with applause, but in the invisible hours where you choose again and again to rise. Do you know why true consistency scares people? Because it exposes their excuses. Your discipline becomes a mirror they can't escape. Every time you show up, every time you refuse to quit, their comfort shatters a little more. They see in you what they abandoned in themselves. This is the essence of the Gyoji System, not some trendy hack or a fleeting motivation. It's the ancient art of unshakable rhythm. Like the temple bells that ring at the same hour day after day for centuries, your actions become a ritual, a force of nature, something no distraction or doubt can break. Imagine this clearly. While most people are trapped in cycles of hesitation and emotional storms, you become the one constant, the one presence that never wavers. Your mornings are sharp, your steps are deliberate, your energy is focused, not because it's easy, but because you've made consistency your identity. And when that happens, the world notices. People stop questioning your potential. They start fearing your persistence, because deep down, they know no one can compete with someone who never stops showing up. There's a silent power that comes when you decide you're done negotiating with your weaker self. When you stop giving into every mood, every distraction, every little voice that says, maybe tomorrow. Real consistency begins the moment you stop waiting for the perfect conditions and start moving, even when everything inside you resists. Most people live their lives trapped in temporary sparks. They get motivated, they rise for a day or two, and then they fall back into the same tired rhythm. But the few who break through, they build fire not from sparks, but from rituals. Day after day, brick after brick, no drama, no noise, just relentless action. And that's exactly what terrifies others. They expect you to stop. They expect you to complain, to hesitate, to break down like they did. But you don't. You keep going. And every time you do, it forces them to confront their own lack of discipline. Your progress becomes undeniable, and what was once ignored and becomes impossible to look away from. Think about it. Every morning you rise before the sun. Every task you do when no one else cares. Every no you say to temptation, to laziness, to comfort. Each one is a hammer strike. Each one forges your identity into something unshakable. People won't understand it at first. They'll call you obsessed. They'll say you've changed. They'll roll their eyes because your rhythm reminds them of their own inconsistency. But deep down, beneath the sarcasm and the doubt, there's a flicker of fear and respect, because they sense something dangerous about someone who refuses to break. You become like a storm they can't control, like a clock that never misses a beat. And in a world built on excuses, your unwavering discipline becomes something almost frightening, something rare, something powerful. Consistency isn't glamorous. It doesn't come with applause, and it rarely feels exciting. It's early mornings when your body begs you to stay in bed. It's lonely nights when you're working while everyone else is laughing, distracted, or lost. It's the invisible work, the kind that no one praises, but everyone notices when the results finally appear. This is where most people quit, not because they lack potential, but because they expect change to feel comfortable. They don't realize that greatness grows in discomfort, slowly, quietly, like roots digging deep into the earth long before anyone sees the tree. The Gyoji System is built on this truth. It teaches that the real transformation happens not when you're inspired, but when you're exhausted, discouraged, and tempted to give up. And you don't. Day by day, the rhythm carves you. Your habits become sharper. Your focus becomes unshakable. And without realizing it, you evolve into a different version of yourself, someone quieter but far more dangerous. People around you start to sense it. They don't always have the words, but they feel the shift. They see it in the way you walk, the way you look at things, the way you no longer depend on motivation to move forward. They sense that something inside you has locked in, and it unsettles them, because deep down people fear what they can't control. They fear what exposes their own weaknesses, and your consistency, it does exactly that. Every disciplined action you take is like a silent reminder of what they abandoned. While they wait for the right time, you're building. While they overthink, you're acting. While they slow down, you're compounding. Imagine years passing like this, not weeks, not months, years. While others ride emotional roller coasters, you've been laying bricks in silence. And then one day they wake up and look at you, and you're no longer the same person. You've become someone they can't figure out, someone they can't outlast. They see your strength and they realize you didn't get here by chance. You got here through relentless rhythm, forged in the moments no one witnessed. And that realization shakes them, because it proves that greatness was always possible for them too. But they chose comfort. You didn't. There will come a day when the results of your consistency will speak louder than any word you've ever said. A day when the same people who doubted you will look at you with that quiet mix of fear, respect, and disbelief. Because while they were distracted, you were focused. While they kept searching for shortcuts, you kept walking the long road. And now, the gap between you and them is no longer a step, it's a canyon. But let's be honest, this journey was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving yourself right, about becoming the kind of person who no longer needs external validation to move forward. The kind of person whose word is law, not to others, but to their own soul. That is the rarest kind of power. Integrity with yourself. You stopped waiting for motivation. You stopped chasing comfort. You stopped needing applause. You built a rhythm so strong that the world had no choice but to adjust around it. That's the Gyoji way. Not loud, not flashy, but unshakable. And here's the truth most never face. People fear consistency because it reveals what they could have been. It forces them to look in the mirror and see the price of their distractions. When they see your strength, they're not just seeing you. They're seeing every version of themselves that they abandoned on the path. That's why your presence unsettles them. That's why they whisper. That's why they stare. And in that moment, something shifts forever. Because you're no longer the one chasing. You've become the standard. You're no longer reacting to the world. The world is reacting to you. Every action you take now echoes far beyond your immediate life. It touches the lives of people watching silently, the ones who secretly hope for proof that discipline still matters. You become living evidence that consistency is the most underestimated superpower of all. But let me make something clear. This power didn't come from some magical gift. It came from nights of doubt, mornings of pain, days when no one believed and you kept showing up anyway. It came from choosing purpose over pleasure, discipline over excuses, and legacy over comfort. You didn't wait for inspiration. You became the storm. And now, look at you. You've crossed the line most people never even approach. Your rhythm has become unbreakable. Your mindset has become bulletproof. Your presence carries weight. And your future is no longer a question mark. It's a masterpiece being built brick by brick. One day someone will ask how you did it, and you'll smile, not with arrogance, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows the truth. You didn't just change your habits, you changed your identity. So let them watch, let them whisper, let them be unsettled by your fire. Because the moment your consistency starts to scare people is the moment you know you're finally walking in your power. That's when you stop living like everyone else and start living like the person you were always meant to become.